Hey guys, I am back with another video, and today I want to talk about two things that I love. One, budgeting, and the second is travel. So if we put those together, I'm going to be talking about how to budget for travel. Now, I find this a rather important video to discuss just because with millennials nowadays, we want to experience things, whether that's in the country or out of the country, a local getaway trip. We want to see things. We want to have those memories with the people that we love and just things to hold on and cherish. But with travel, we need to understand the component of money and the financial obligation that goes with it. And so there might be a trip that the girls are going to Aruba or something like that. How much money do you need for that trip? Realistically, can you make an obligation to go without really knowing your financial situation? Probably not, which is why that budgeting component will help you out and let you know if you realistically can go on that trip or not. Now, I want you to be honest, all right? Have you ever been out with your girls, with your guys, whoever it might be, family, and you didn't really budget for the trip? Like, you kind of just went with the flow, right? But now everyone is going on excursions, going to the mall, doing shopping, going to different cities just because. But you don't have that same luxury because you don't have the money or the means to be able to do so. That is the whole point of why I'm making this video. I want us to enjoy our travel to the fullest. Now, if we're on a weekend getaway, I get it. You don't have to do everything. You just want to be out, probably relax and chill and be around some good company. But when I'm out the country, the last thing I want to worry about is, do I have the money to experience this vacation I just took? We want to have that freedom to do what we want. And so I really hope this budgeting template moving forward will help you guys in that area if that's something that you kind of run into every once in a while. And so the budgeting template that I have for you guys today that I'm going to be sharing, it really just breaks down 6 major components so that you kind of can get an idea and estimate whether or not this is something that you can realistically afford, or if it's something that needs to be pushed out, or, you're in a good place to go. So those 6 major components are airfare, transportation, meals, activities, miscellaneous items, and then also your lodging. And as long as that you can afford all of those components, then I say it's all good to go and have a great time. So right off of the bat, I want to say the earlier you know that you're going on a trip, the whole lot better it's going to be from a financial standpoint. And honestly, there's just a few reasons. The fact that you have more time to prepare and plan, it lets you, save up your money, get in a better position, allows you to do better research to get the best deals possible. But when you have that travel that's coming up in a month or in a week, you just don't have that flexibility really. You kind of got to take what's there, and sometimes that's not really on your side. So, point blank simple, the earlier you know, the better that you can go ahead and start plugging in those numbers into the template I'm about to show you to make your life a whole lot easier. So this right here is a template that I use for every single trip that I have coming up. It is very easy, simple, straightforward, to the point. So for each trip, I think it's beneficial to always reference the name, the dates, and the location, just because, there's so much communication going on in a group text message. This information usually gets lost in the sauce, and so having it right here, easily accessible, is just a good reference point. Again, I have the categories that I had mentioned earlier. This is what we're going to be working with to try to find an estimated amount of how much everything is going to cost for this upcoming trip. Over here is kind of more so used once you know for sure that you're going to be going on this trip. But basically in this column, you're going to put in your actual spend that you did for each category, and then talking about where it came from, the money. Was it coming from a travel fund if you have one set up, or is it going to come out of your paycheck each time that you get paid? So down here at the bottom, I have a scenario that we're going to kind of work with so you can understand how this template works. So Crystal was invited to attend a girls' trip with 4 other girls for a week in Miami, Florida. They plan to go May 15th through May 21st. This is a very standard and typical way on how a trip will start. Either you're inviting people or you're being invited. So let's go ahead and put in the variables that we know for now, and we'll start estimating whether or not Crystal will be able to go on this girls' trip. So, this is a girls' trip from, there we go, May 15th through, I cannot type, May 21st in Miami, Florida. So, all of these variables will be flexible. They will not all be used. The girls will have a lot of discussing to do whether or not, really deciding what they want to do. Now, for airfare, will they want to take airfare or will they want to do a car rental? In this particular case, we'll say the girls are going to want to do airfare. They have from September 1st to May approximately 6 months to plan out this trip, which is plenty of enough time. So I'm pretty sure they'll be able to get a good airfare rate, and we'll say that's about $250 is what they want to pay for. Lodging, are they going to want to do an Airbnb or are they going to want to do a hotel type situation? We're going to say they're going to do an Airbnb, and at max they don't want to spend any more than $750. So $750 is the max divided by the number of girls that are going on this trip, which is 5. So per person, they're going to be paying approximately $150. Transportation, again, are they going to want to get a rental car for their entire trip? Or are they going to want to do a Lyft and Uber type situation? We're going to say they're going to do a Lyft and Uber, and so they don't want to spend no more than $150. So divide that by the number of girls again, 5. That is $30 per person. And now for meals. On average, I would say it's about $25 per day. You know how much you spend per day on food. Throw in that number. I'm going to say it's $25. They have a full week in Miami, 7 days. While 2 of those days will most likely be travel days, meaning they're not going to eat full 3 meals probably those days. So I'm going to say instead of 7 days, we're going to do 6. Okay? For activities, are the girls going to want to do an excursion or kind of just be more low-key, laid back, and go with the flow? I'm going to say they're going to want to do excursions for approximately $150. Miscellaneous items would represent if you want to get gifts, souvenirs, something to have a memory of the location that you just went to. For your coworkers, friends, family, or even just for yourself. We're going to say Crystal is going to want to bring back 6 gifts, including herself, at $10 each. Okay? So, here is what it's looking like it's going to cost her to go on this girls' trip. Approximately $790. So, is this something Crystal can realistically afford, yes or no? Well, let's see at the bottom here. At the moment, we're going to say Crystal does not have a travel fund set up. Let's go ahead and throw it at $0. Her financial need at the moment is this entire $790. On a monthly basis over the next 6 months, Crystal will need to save $131.67 in order to go on this girls' trip. Now, looking at her budget that she already has set up, if that fits within her budget, I think it's a go for Crystal to go on this girl trip and have a great time. But if that is a little bit of a stretch and that's something she's not able to contribute to, then Crystal needs to either cut back on some of her estimated costs and things that she won't be able to do, such as maybe activities, or she just won't be able to go on this trip. Now, let's talk about how the travel fund can be beneficial in this moment. So what if Crystal already had $300 in her travel fund? Her financial need now is only $490, meaning on a monthly basis she will only need to save $81.67. That is a little bit more doable, and that might fit within her budget a little bit better to make it more realistic for her to go on this trip. Also keep in mind, a travel fund can also be useful because when it comes to airfare, your lodging, or even your activities, sometimes those costs need to be paid up front or they need to have deposits. And if you need to come up with $300 on the spot, what if your financial situation at that particular moment doesn't allow for you? You're just paying rent. You might just paid your a whole bunch of bills. You don't have a lot of extra money left over. It puts you in a financial crunch. Just knowing that you have the security of funds already set aside that is specifically for travel, it just alleviates any stress that you have. It also gives you a comfortability knowing that you get to take advantage of a discount because you financially are able to take advantage of it. So if your financial situation allows for you to have a travel fund set up, I highly recommend that you get one. And so what you'll realize based off of this template and what everything that we just done, it's based off of planning this trip 6 months in advance. Now, we know that on a monthly basis over the next 6 months, Crystal will need to save either $81.67 if she has a travel fund or $131.67 if she does not. But that's, again, only if she's planning this in advance. What if Crystal only has, 2 months? That puts her in a much larger financial obligation that she has to worry about. Now Crystal has to try to save $395, and that can be a little bit of a stretch and very uncomfortable. How realistic is it now for her to go on this trip? Only Crystal will know by looking at her budget. And so I definitely hope you realize in this situation that the earlier that you know about your trips and have time to prepare for it, it's going to be less of a financial burden on you moving forward. And it also will allow you to have more comfortability to enjoy all the things that you actually want to when you're out on this trip. So here are some resources that you guys can use to save you some money in the process. So more specifically related to airfare at the moment. You can use Google Flights, which allows you to track your flights and it lets you know when new lower fares are coming up. Hopper does the same thing. The only thing that I personally do not like about Hopper, it did not allow me to filter out certain airlines. Specifically, I do not like Spirit Airlines, never used it, do not plan to use them. So at least with Google Flights, it allows me to filter on a lot of different variables to the way that I like it. And then you just simply click on track it and it'll send you email notifications all the time whenever the prices are fluctuating, whether it's low, high, whatever. It'll keep you updated the entire time so you don't have to constantly check on it. As well as Tuesday low fares is also something that you should always keep in mind when you have enough time to kind of like pricing, I guess you can say. So definitely take advantage of that. When it comes to activities, if you decide to do an excursion while you are out of town, always look at Groupon. I think we all know this. Groupon has a lot of great deals and savings. Whatever will help you save money at the end of the day is always going to be helpful. And if you are a student, you do get and use a student email when you sign up with Groupon. You get an additional 25% off of everything. And so that's just an additional way to save money on top of saving money. So it's always a win-win situation. So another way that you can save money is definitely by getting a travel credit card. If you read the stipulations of the card, making purchases at certain places will give you extra bonuses and rewards back. So if you make certain purchases at hotels, car rental agencies, airlines, restaurants, purchasing gas, like whatever it might be, you get so many points back that could be up to 6 times, 2 times, 1.5, whatever it is. And after you rack up so many of those rewards, you are able to redeem them as cash or as credits on your statement to offset whatever travel expense you just incurred. Which at the end of the day, that just means it's kind of like it's like a reimbursement, basically. It's not really free because you did end up paying it, but you're racking up additional points based off of the transactions that you're making by using this card, and most importantly, making that payment at the end of the statement when it comes out. Last thing I actually want to add is shopping. Shopping typically because we gotta have new fits for when we go on these travel trips. I would not include that as a travel expense necessarily, but at the end of the day, it is your budget and you get to decide how you want to plan out your money situation. But we definitely need new fits for our travel, so I would just take that out like months in advance. I would start racking up clothes in preparation for my trips. So just keep that in mind, but you totally have the leisure to do that if that's what you plan to do. But yeah, that is basically all that I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, useful in any means or way, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos to come. Make sure to follow my IG handles. That'll be the best way to figure out if there's any new videos coming out anytime soon. And if there's any questions that you have, I am totally available. So just go ahead and send me a DM, comment below, whatever works best for you. Okay? Thank you so much for your time. Bye!